I think that tension and contradiction is at the core of the human experience. And so whether that means being Chinese in a predominantly white Australia that is very hostile to the idea of a third culture kid, or the idea that I'm somebody who has not formally studied game design and my interests have always aligned with biomedicine and ecology in some ways more than they do making games. Which, by the way, speaks to this problem where, like, it feels like we're at the cusp of revolution when it comes to defining genres in games or creating particular movements, right? You're seeing people create genres, which is pretty startling. This idea of if you were trying to canonize the history of Western music and you had to choose who you'd do it, who you'd put onto this 100-track CD album, then you'd have to choose people who really represented an entire movement. And we have people like that on a very small scale as well within video games. So yes, it feels dramatic and exciting. But it also shouldn't. And I think a lot of the work that we're doing is actually not that valuable. It's just new. It's just novel. And you see that happen all the time with other art forms where someone does something new, but it's not good yet. And then it takes a few iterations, and it's not the same individual doing those iterations. And the tendency towards understanding art through the lens of auteur theory can lead to misconceptions like, oh, Marcel Duchamp was a genius who really, placed found art onto a pedestal, literally and metaphorically. But that ignores the community of fluxism and understanding surrealism that enabled that one individual to come to those conclusions. That didn't happen in a vacuum. That's why fringe communities are so important, because they allow conversations larger than a person and larger than a span of time that someone's interested in a particular topic. That idea gets picked up and remixed and changed all around the world because of globalization. And because video games have no authenticity in the age of mechanical reproduction, we see them being endlessly remixed.